welcome back to Cooking with Dilo, the Cooking Panda. So tonight we are making braised chicken with ginger and green onion and shiitake mushrooms. So I've got like 3 or 4 stalks of green onion, a big chunk of ginger I've sliced up. I had some leftover red onion, so I'll use that with some minced garlic just to what we call haywalk, which is just to bring out the flavor. I got 2 medium yellow onions. These were just shiitake mushrooms that have been pre-braised. You can use just the dried ones and soak them, and you can use that to braise, but these are braised already and they were in the fridge, so I'll use that. I've got about 9 drumsticks here. I've just cut them in half. Of course, we're gonna need chicken broth, oyster sauce, which is, you know, the Chinese master sauce. We need soy sauce, some white pepper, salt, sugar, and you'll probably need some cornstarch and water just to thicken up the sauce. So just showing you the ingredients right now, and we're gonna go off, and what we're gonna do is pan sear off the chicken and get them nicely browned, and then we'll work from getting the braising fluid afterwards. I'm going to slice up a couple of Chinese sausages into nice thin strips, and then we're going to put that in there with the braised chicken as well. So here we are, we're going to sear off the chicken. Again, I'm using peanut oil. I have it at home. I like using peanut oil, but obviously if you've got allergies at home, you don't want to do that. So we've got about 2-3 tablespoons of peanut oil in the wok there. I'm just going to get it around, get it nice and hot. Here's my chicken. I've marinated it with a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of cooking wine, salt and pepper. So I'm just gonna throw them in there, and I'm gonna get them nice and brown. I've got ginger in there as well, salt, sugar. Just gonna put the chicken in, and we're gonna sear them off, brown them off. So you can see here, I'm browning off the chicken nicely. You know, it's gonna be oily in the house when you do this, but this is, in Chinese restaurants, you would actually oil blanch this, but we don't have that, so we're just gonna pan fry at a medium-high heat. See, I've got all my chicken browned off now. It's nice and golden brown. I've got the oil in there, which has got some of the natural chicken fat that came out. So we're gonna turn the fire back up. We're gonna go to a high heat, bring it up. First, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop our Chinese sausage in there and just kind of render off some of the oil. Then we're gonna put the garlic, a little bit of garlic, red onion, green onion, ginger in there, and get the flavors out. And then we're gonna put some stock in there and just really get a nice base for this braised chicken. So like I said, we're putting in the Chinese sausage there. We're gonna render that down, which is really important. We're gonna go to a medium-high heat. Just get that going at first. And we've got our aromatics right here. If you can see, the aromatics, and those are gonna go in right now, very soon. Gonna get some of the fat out of the sausage, get them a little bit crispy, which is all of the texture here. So we're gonna put in the red onion. Again, I have some red onion left over, so that's why I'm using it. We're gonna drop in our garlic later. We're gonna put in ginger in first and get the oil on the ginger, because that's really gonna help bring out the aromas in it. The ginger and green onion first. Get that going. It's really important to kind of wait till you get the aromas out, and the ginger is really important because the ginger is going to help tenderize the chicken as you braise it up. So now we're done there. We're going to add our sliced onion, and we're going to saute that till we are a little bit soft. We don't have to get them really soft or translucent, but we're just going to go and turn it up to a high heat, and we're going to stir fry that up. Okay, now that it's running a little bit soft, we want to add our garlic now. The reason why we want to do this is we don't want to burn the garlic. So that's really important. You don't want to burn the garlic because then it gets bitter, right? So stir fry that up. You can smell, well, I can smell the garlic. And once, you don't want to get it nutty, you just want the aromatics of the garlic to come out. Maybe you can add a little bit, touch more oil at this point. Probably about a couple teaspoons, just to make sure that it's not dry in the pan. And right now you can see things are starting to go soft. Now this is the time to put in your chicken broth. So you're gonna have some chicken broth in there. I'd say about that much, but that was about 1 liter, so about 500 mil, maybe a little bit more. And now this is a really important thing. This is where we're gonna build our sauce. Because everything, however this tastes, is gonna make the chicken really kind of pop. So we're gonna add some white pepper. We're gonna add some touch of sugar. Right, we got a little bit of sugar. Hold on, it's over there. We're gonna add some salt. Again, if you followed me before, chicken powder. And that's gonna help with the flavor. This takes the place of MSG in the household. We're gonna splash it with a little bit of soy. And we're just gonna let it go. Now this is a good base, similar base that you'd make for like the ginger and green onion crab, except for no sausages. So I'm gonna put in probably 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. A tablespoon or 1.5. And we're gonna get this broth nice, and you wanna taste it. So you wanna make sure your broth tastes good. Oh, one last thing, forgot sesame oil. That's gonna give it some aromatics there. A couple drips there. And for color, we're gonna add some dark soy, but we're gonna do that later after we get, most important thing is, we want to get the flavor of the sauce there. Just needs a little bit more oyster sauce. And again, you're going to play with it. A little bit more oyster sauce, and you're going to get a touch more pepper. There you are. So once the sauce is nice and good, we're going to taste it again. I taste the garlic and everything, it tastes great. But again, there we get it. And now to make it dark, we add a little bit of dark soy, just for color. You don't have to, I just choose to. There you are. And now, here's the key. You put your chicken back in, right? Because we're gonna braise it in this broth. And the chicken's just gonna soak up all that flavor. We're gonna drop the shiitake mushrooms off in here in just a little bit, but not right now. We're gonna let the chicken do its thing. Bring it down to a simmer, and you wanna put a lid on it. So let this go for about 5. In a restaurant, you're gonna go through 3 or 4 minutes, but your chicken's gonna be like oil blanched, so it's gonna be a little bit more cooked. My chicken was just seared off, so I'd say 5-10 minutes in between there. Just check on it. And then in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna drop my shiitake mushrooms in there, and I'm gonna just make sure all the flavors blend. So you can see the chicken here is braising off nicely. The gravy is nice. It smells wonderful. Normally, like I said, if you had just the dry shiitakes, those would have gone in at the very beginning when the chicken stock was gonna go in. But because I've got braised shiitakes already, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the shiitakes now to my mix, because they've already been braised, so they just need to heat up. So again, I'm just gonna kind of mix those in, and the chicken's coming along. It's nice and tender, I can see here. I'd say these guys they've been going for about 5 minutes now. I'm gonna let it go again. Like I said, crank the heat up a little bit to medium-high. You see right there. And I'm gonna put the lid back on, and I'm gonna let it go for probably another 5 minutes. Don't worry, you can't overcook this. It's like chicken stew, right? Chinese chicken stew. So, see you guys in a little bit. My chicken's been braising for about 10 minutes, 10, 11, 12 minutes. So, right now, in here I've got cornstarch, about 2-3 teaspoons of cornstarch. Normally you just use water, but I want flavor in there, so I added some soy, a little bit of light soy. I use chicken broth to make this. So it's all the same, you can use water, no big deal. Want to make sure that your fire is on max, and you want to thicken this, so we're going to drop this in, and we're going to let it come to a boil, and you can see that it's going to thicken up right away. You see the consistency there? It just tightened up right away. So we are ready to bring it up. It's good. So we're going to dish it up and go for presentation. This is the ginger and green onion braised chicken with Chinese sausage and shiitake mushrooms. Thank you for watching Cooking with Dilo and the Cooking Panda.